Hey, this is the Father Trucker coming to you from a truck stop just inside the Quebec border. And I just wanted to share a couple of things with you real quick before the sun goes down and you can't see me, but that may be okay. Maybe we'll do some videos from the darkness as we lose daylight, but not today. But listen, what I wanted to talk to you about is in keeping with what I shared with you last time, and that is this idea that there are just common things that as truckers we struggle with, and there's common things as people who are owner operators and who are in this business that they just come at us. And the one we talked about last time, and I won't go over the whole thing again, you can go back and watch that. It'll be in the library of the Father Trucker videos. But that whole idea of, when we have a plan and we think we know the way that things should go, and they don't, they go a different way than we planned. And I got to tell you, it's kind of funny that, I had a plan for what the second video was going to be all about. And it kind of is a little bit, but it's going to have a bit of a curveball at the end. So stay tuned to the end. You'll see what I mean. But what I wanted to talk to you about this time was that whole idea of the dreaded annual inspection that we have to do as truck owners. And so if you're a truck owner, you know this already. I don't want to mansplain it, but you know it, right? Every year we got to take our truck into a reputable garage, a licensed garage, and they are going to go over the truck from stem to stern, from front to back, from top to bottom, and make sure that it is safe to operate on the highway. And so they're going to check a whole long list of things. And if anything is out of sorts, they're going to fix that thing. And then we're going to leave them a lot of money, which is the way it always works out, right? It's always, I got to tell you, I picked up Big John, the big Western Star, yesterday, and I had a plan. I thought, it's going to be about this much money. And I talked to Mama Trucker there and kind of had prepared her for what was going to happen. And you think I'd know better by now, but it was like more than twice what I thought it would cost. And that's just the way it is, right? You drive these trucks up and down the road and things get worn out and things get broken and things have to be repaired. And so we had to do couple of S-cams in the brakes and, a whole bunch of little things that, just need to be dealt with. And here's what I like about that. I don't like giving the garage money, although I've got a great garage that I really appreciate. And someday maybe we'll link them to the Father Trucker videos just so they get a bit of props maybe for this, but you're probably not going to do that. But anyway, but they found some stuff, and here's what I like about it. I like to fix things before they break. I like to fix stuff before it leaves you stuck on the side of the highway, or get you flagged at the scales and they pull you out of service. I like to fix things first. I don't like paying the money for it. I don't like the time that it takes to do it. I don't like the bloody knuckles that I get when I do it myself, but I would much rather fix it in advance than be stuck. I've got a good friend who's a trucker for a long time, and what he taught me was if you fix it preventatively, it costs a certain amount of money. If you fix it after it breaks, it costs twice as much money. And if they have to come get you on the side of the highway, it's probably going to cost you 3 times as much money. And I think that's probably some pretty good advice. So I do like the idea of fixing stuff before it breaks. And the annual inspection is designed to do that. It's designed to catch stuff before it causes the problem. It's designed to get stuff before it leaves you stranded, or worst case scenario, it's designed to catch stuff before somebody gets hurt because the truck doesn't meet safety standards and you have an accident, right? And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And there's a verse in the Bible, which is my go-to book, in Psalm 139, and it's King David talking to the Lord, and he says, God, search my heart and see if there's anything within me that doesn't line up with you. See if there's any wicked way in me, and then lead me on the path everlasting. And that's kind of like an annual inspection. It's saying, God, search me, check me out from front to back, top to bottom. And if there's anything that doesn't line up with the way it's supposed to be, show me, let me see what it is that you see, and then show me how to get that right with you. Show me how to fix it. What needs to get fixed in my life? Maybe it's an attitude, maybe it's an action, maybe it's whatever it is. But God, I give you permission. I invite you to do an annual inspection on me to make sure that there's nothing that is either broken or breaking or going to cause a problem that could hurt other people or myself, or might even just, bring you sadness and maybe bring you shame, God. So if there's something going on in me, then deal with it. I give you permission. I ask you to deal with it. And it's kind of funny. We, in Big John here, he's now got a brand new sticker in his window that says that he passed the test. God doesn't do that with us. We don't get a little sticker that says, okay, you're good. I've inspected you and all is well. That's not how it works. But it is, let me just say this, it is so much less costly, which is horrible English, but it is way less costly to get the Lord to point out and deal with and fix things within us before they break. It's so much better for the Holy Spirit to just put his holy finger upon something in my life and say, hey, I want to fix that attitude before someone gets hurt. Hey, I want to fix that action before you have to deal with the consequences of acting out on that. I want to fix that. Maybe it's a lie that I've believed, and God says, hey, I want to fix that lie and replace it with truth so that you can live in a way that is good and you can walk on the way everlasting. Just like, Big John, the Western Star here, wants to drive on the highway well. God says, hey, I want to take you on a road well, and I want you to live well, and I want you to live in a way that pleases me and is good for you. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I think all of us, probably, if you're a trucker, you can relate. And it's just hard when the garage says, hey, this is broken, we need to fix it. And it's going to cost you this much. And that's hard. And it's hard when God says, hey, there's something within you that's broken, I want to fix that. There's something that needs to get shifted or adjusted or bent back into shape. And it's hard. It really is hard. But it's not as hard as it is if we leave it and don't deal with it and just try and, maybe close our eyes and pretend everything is okay when it's not. That's not a better way to go. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today as the father trucker, because that's just part of life. But here's the funny part is I had this all kind of figured out in my head, and I'm like, I'm gonna say to my friends out there in the internet land, this is how you should live, and this is a better way to live, and it's good, and all that kind of stuff. And it's true, but here's the funny part, and this has dawned on me in real living color as I sit in this truck stop today, and that is this, that we don't need an annual inspection. We need a daily inspection. We need to be regularly making sure everything is well. And here's why this is relevant. I got my brand new yellow sticker in my window. I've got my brand new annual. I should be good to go for 365. Actually, this is leap year, so we get a bit of extra time this year, but I should be good for a year, right? I shouldn't have to worry about it or think about it. I should just be able to get in this truck and check the oil and check the fluids and top up the fuel and drive on. However, on the literal second day of my annual inspection, there's a part of the truck that's not working properly. There's oil getting out where it needs to not get out from. I'm not going to go into too much in the way of details, but let me just tell you that there's a leak, and there's a leak that the garage caught and fixed, but the fix didn't fix, and so now it's going to have to go back in tomorrow morning, and they're going to have to pull it apart and put it back together again. And it's, it's an honest mistake. It's something that happens, and it's life in trucking. And again, if you're a trucker, that you think you have it all figured out, and it just didn't happen the way you thought it would. But here's the point of that, and that is this, that we don't get to live with an annual inspection in life either. We don't get to check in with God once a year and say, okay, I want that inventory, show me where things are at, I'll deal with these things, and now I'd like to just go about my business. It really, literally needs to be a daily searching. We come before the Lord and we say, God, today, how did I do? I've got a good friend who is very, very smart, educated, and learned when it comes to the whole idea of spiritual disciplines. And there's something that he shared with me called the prayer of examine. And that goes like this. You put your head on the pillow at night and you say, God, here I am. Is there anything from today that I need to deal with? Here I am at the end of the day. God, is there anything that I did today that needs to get dealt with? Is there any attitude or action, any belief, any lie, anything at all, God, at the end of this day that I need to deal with? Is there oil dripping from my life? I don't want to beat up the metaphor too much, but is there something that's out of place? And God, I'm here. I'm not gonna do yearly accounts with you. I'm gonna keep short accounts with you, and I'm gonna ask you to check my heart on a really, really regular basis. And I give you permission to really live in an ongoing state of inspection. God, check me, look into my heart, look into my life, look into my everything about me, my relationships, what I do with all of my time and energy and money and everything. God, I just come before you and say, constantly check my heart. I hope that makes sense. I hope that doesn't seem real heavy, because it's not meant to be heavy. The reality is if we're willing to do this kind of thing and live this kind of way, it really does prevent catastrophic failure. If I had not done my mid-run inspection on my truck today and all of that oil had leaked out of that axle, it would have been catastrophic, and that would have been horrible, and I would have been in a whole lot worse place. Instead, I'm going to lose, half a day's pay, and they're going to fix the problem, and all will be well. So too with our lives, guys. If we're willing to come before God, it may hurt a little. It may take a bit of time. It may mean an adjustment. It may mean dealing with some things, but it's way better than the consequences of leaving it unchecked. I hope that makes sense. I hope that lands. And as I promised you before, nothing I ever tell you is going to be overly profound. I hope it's just simple truth that you can take and apply to your life. And hey, I hope you'll do that. I hope even as maybe you're doing your circle check on your truck at the end of the day today or in the morning, that you'll also invite the Holy Spirit to take a look under the hood of your life and just give him permission to let you know what he sees going on there. And at the end of the day, I guarantee you'll be better for it. Not going to tell you it's not going to be hard, because it is. But hey, if this has triggered something in you and you want to talk to somebody, or you need to bounce some ideas off somebody, I hope you have someone in your life you can talk to. And if you don't, you can leave a comment and we'll get back to you and see what we can do to help. All right. Hey, God bless. Stay safe. And don't forget to do your circle check today. All right. Cheers.